Hello and welcome to the Ari and the Will-O-Wisp Randomizer run, ran by Zuri. On comms today, it is me, Seal. I'm going to be doing the majority of the talking, so Zuri can focus in on his run. But Zuri, you can say hi if you want to.
Yeah, hi, I'm Zuri. Yeah, and I'll be running this randomizer today. We have all trees and all wisps ahead of us, so I won't waste any more time and start.
Nice, yes. So as is Ari Randomizer tradition, we have a random spawn. So instead of spawning at the start of the game where you normally are, Zuri has spawned into a entirely locked off area in Bow's Reach. That's nice. Luckily the game is smart and it knows this stuff, so it's given us you get 3 items to start. And one of the items we got to start is one of the teleport activations. So there are a number of teleports around the map, and Zuri is able to, if he finds pickups that unlocks the teleports, we can then use them. Looks like we also have some other early skills. We have regeneration and I believe bash. I think that's the icon for bash, right?
Yep, that is bash.
Yes, and we've also just got access to clean water, which is can be sort of hard locking large portions of the map off. So getting that early means we will be able to get access to a lot of the map early on. And also our first relic. So if we talk quickly, we will talk about tech soon. Zuri is doing a bunch of pause floats right now, which is an interesting tech where if you pause the map, Ori loses all of their vertical momentum. So if you're falling, you can pause float to essentially sort of make your jumps go a lot further than they're supposed to. Yes, we're talking about goal modes. So we have relics. Relics is the default goal mode that was selected. In relics, there are I don't know exactly how many areas in this game, like 10 or 12 or something. And most of them will have a relic in a random pickup slot. So we're going to have to go through, traverse these areas, get as many pickups as we can, and hopefully find our relics in quick succession. We also have all trees. So similar to that, most of the areas in the game have one or more trees. Canonically, when you're playing the vanilla version of the game, trees are where you get your skills. In the randomizer, tree pickups are random, but we will still have to go through and visit every area and collect every single tree. And then the final goal mode that we're going for today is all wisps. And all wisps will allow is essentially sort of like the main storyline progression, even though we won't be doing it in that order. But it will mean that we will be going around doing some of the more challenging escape sequences and some of the more challenging boss sequences in this game, because those we need to do those to get the wisps, as we see Clock is sort of hanging out in the background. I've never seen that before. That's interesting. So yeah, we're seeing early game here. Zuri is picking up a lot of early game skills. Not a lot of movement options right now. We've got some good utility skills picked up though. And we're seeing right here Zuri able to pick up some of these underwater pickups close to Quallock because we got clean water available. So we're going to see Zuri here bashing this fish because there's a pickup up here that if we repeatedly bash off the guy, we'll be able to get up to it. Nicely done. Yes. So another thing in this game, we have Spirit Light. You're going to see 100. You're going to see numbers of things pop up because the randomizer, a fun little thing where it replaces the currency with some all sorts of different names. So that was 134 comments. That's actually Spirit Light. What just happened right there is reactivate a cutscene underwater, and then Ori does this little like zip through and it's able to skip the cutscene. So we've actually got one of the wisps right now. So we're 1 of 5 on wisps, as we're going to be continuing through this area. Bash is very nice in this area. This is where you're supposed to get Bash in the game itself. So yeah, there's a lot of enemies and sort of things here that are sort of like Bash related. So using that, we're going to be able to traverse this area nicely. So yeah. Alright, Zuri is going for a little bit more of a complicated thing here. It's also going to be doing a metric ton of pulse floats. The reason why Zuri is doing this may not be very clear is if you go on the right side of this arena, there is a trigger for a mini boss who we don't really want to be fighting right now because we don't have a weapon that doesn't cost energy. We have the bow, but bow costs energy, which are the little crystals on the left-hand side of the UI, or the middle left, the little blue crystals. So the bow does do damage, but it's not very efficient right now for dealing damage. with the amount of energy we have, there are some shards that we can pick up later on, where we potentially can get some more. Um, so this is Ophir. Ophir sells a bunch of stuff. Oh, nice. We just found Sword. Sword is going to be very, very, very helpful. Yeah, Sword is it's a way to deal damage without having an energy cost, which is very nice, which is going to be, and it's also a very good way of dealing damage. It also is a very good way to gain movement. So using various different sword slashing techniques, as you're seeing Zuri doing here, using just forward slashes to delay um, losing vertical momentum, as he's able to get some of these pickups, which you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. So yeah, so Saw has a ton of utility when combined with jumps, especially if we find double jump later on, which you may do, or also sentry. So if you find the sentry ability, we're going to have a ton of vertical movement options available, because using those two, the sentry ability and the sword, we can do a little thing called a sentry jump, which is one of the most famous movement techs in this game for speedrunning and for randomizing. So we will have to look out for that one. So seeing Zri here. Yeah, we're gonna again. So combination of things like pulse slopes, bashes, sword movement is going to be able to get access to a lot of these pickups, which you would not be able to do otherwise. Um, so yeah, we're just going to be going through here, collecting some early game stuff. There is also in the game, there are hints. So if we struggle a little bit with finding specific progression items that we need to finish the game, we will be able to purchase hints to get access to those. Another thing to note here, we are playing with the bonus plus mode, I believe it's called.
Yep.
And that gives us a bunch of potentially fun pickups, some interesting things like making weapons more energy efficient, things like making jumps and dashes stronger, as we may see later on. So we may see, if we get a few of those pickups in a row and Zuri starts bashing, you're going to see him literally flying across the screen. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, we're looking here. So that's one of them is skill velocity. That means that Zuri's bashes, dashes, and launches will be quicker, I believe. As we pick up another tree here in Wellspring Glades. So I believe we're up to 2 trees now.
Still only one.
Still only one. Okay, that was our first
Like
tree.
this is our first tree. Yes.
Yes. So this area in particular, there's a lot of checks hidden behind specific skill requirements. It's in the game. It's in the vanilla game. It's sort of like it's like a sort of like hub area where there's not really any hostile enemies, but a bunch of sort of things to see. So we're seeing now Zuri picking up hints here. So we see, I think there was two skills in Glades.
It was 0 in Glades and
Two
2 teleporters
teleporters.
and 2 remaining in woods though.
Yes,
So I'll guess I'll go there now.
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so Zuri here, so obviously very experienced, knows exactly how to navigate this area.
Yes.
Obviously, sometimes still make mistakes. This area is it's pretty deadly. The mud, if you fall into the mud, you just insta die. There's like no way to recover. Most times things are covered in things like spikes, so you just take damage. But yeah, if you make a mistake here, you will just perish. It's
It
one of the
doesn't
few
matter how long
areas.
you're playing this game, you will always die in bubbles.
Yep. Bubbles is always a challenging place. Yeah, one of the few areas of the game where there are just like instant kill fields. So I guess another thing to talk about here, as one of the other pickup types we have are keystones. And there are various doors throughout the map, either taking 2 or 4 keystones to unlock. So as he collects keystones, he's going to be thinking about which doors he might want to be unlocking with those, if he doesn't get a massive surplus. Sometimes you get a lot of keystones and you don't need to worry about it so much. Other times you don't get very many and you need to maybe plan your route a little bit more carefully. Yes. Okay, yeah. So another thing here, launch fragments. So the most powerful skill in the game by far is a skill called launch. In the vanilla game, you get it like pretty much in the last area of the game, and it's sort of designed to be used in the last area of the game more than anywhere else. It's so powerful, and it breaks the randomizer apart so much that most people play with this setting called launch fragments, which means you have to collect 3 different fragments out of I think 5 by default that will give you access to launch. So instead of just randomly finding launch and having the entire map available for you to go search for pickups and stuff, we will be having to collect 3 different individual launch fragment pickups before we get access to launch, which just makes it a little bit more difficult to get. Yes, so Zuri here some nice little bashes on things to get access to this that locked off area, redirecting that projectile from the enemy there gives us access to that. We're going to be heading back over here. So looks like, yeah, so here, another thing we let this projectile drop, we'll get access to. This is the bash tree area. So there is another tree down here we'll be able to collect. And because we have bash, there's a lot of things here where bash is going to give us access to various pickups. And then that in combination with skill velocity is very, very, very nice. Giving our bashes just a little bit of extra distance makes this area a little bit more comfortable when we don't have access to many other movement options right now. Oh, nice try. So Zrida are attempting to go for a tree animation skip. So it works with bow and it works with flap. If you basically use flap and then immediately use a tree on the exact point where the where Ori will walk to activate the tree in the cutscene, you will skip the basically Ori will stand there for like 10 seconds normally and wait for the tree animation to play. You will get full access to your movement. So while the camera is locked on the tree and the animation is playing, you can actually zip around and continue playing. So it's a nice little time save that you can act out. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Ooh.
Okay, so we just got access to Burrow. So Burrow is one of our hardlock skills. We need to get Burrow to end the game. So yeah, but this is also going to give us access to Windswept Waste, which is a very pickup dense area. But you can't access very much of it without Burrow. So yeah, as we're going down for this one pickup, going to step back up, and we're going to be heading into Windswept, and probably through that we're going to be able to find hopefully some other movement skills that will sort of give us a little bit easy time in getting around the map. Nice. So Zirida doing some burrow trickery. I don't fully understand it, but there's a way of burrowing in and out of the sand.
Yeah, it happens when you exit the sand and burrow in on the first frame after you exited the sand. Then the game gets confused and things happen.
Yeah, you fly way higher than you're supposed to. We're also seeing a low combination of burrow in the sand plus skill velocity, and Zuri is flying around, killing some enemies, getting a nice redirect to unlock this puck up. That is water dash. That is nice.
Yeah. So we got a few pickups with that in spring, but like this was out of logic because I usually need double jump or a grapple to go over here, so I can't expect it to expect me to have water dash yet. But we'll keep that in mind.
Yes. So we're playing on Golic difficulty, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Golic difficulty is sort of like the middling difficulty of the randomizer. So it does expect you to have some knowledge of basics, sort of movement tech within the game, but not a very advanced knowledge. So 3 is able to sort of figure out from that where the randomizer expects him to go to get the next progression. So we're going to be looking. We could have continued through Windswept Waste and cleared a lot of the area, I believe, but it's not. So he doesn't think that's super valuable right now. It's better to go to Luma pools, which is a very water-focused area, and we just got access to water dash, so that is perfect for us. Also, Zuri, yeah, I like how you've been sat on literally one minuscule sliver of health for the past like 3 minutes, but
Yep.
no deaths.
That's
We're hanging out.
that's actually a bug since like we're playing a beta version of the randomizer, which is version 3.0, and apparently it still has the bug that it doesn't refill health on teleporting, which it usually does. So that goes onto the to-do list.
Live Q&A,
Okay.
the best kind.
Come on.
Oh, it's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, so again, a little bit tricky movement here. So trying to using sword to get over to this area. Normally you'd have access to a skill called double jump, which does make this easier. Not having any success right now, but sure, we will get it soon. That looks better. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, then you can. Oh, yeah, knockbacks in this game on spikes can be pretty brutal. But yeah, it's a nice few combinations of bashes to get there. There's a secret pickup up here. Got Charge Blaze. I'm not sure what that is, but something to do with Blaze, which is a very niche skill in this game. So
Yeah, with Charge Blaze, you can actually do some tricks. Charge Blaze is you can charge your Blaze skill, which is basically like Blaze by default is just a tiny poof, tiny explosion, and Charge Blaze makes it much bigger, which allows you to break things through a wall. So you can just be. Actually, we won't see it in this randomizer run because I'm playing without Willow Hearts and with Better Wellspring. But there are some cases where you have something on another side of the wall, and oh shit, 1 second. Okay, and you can just go to the other side of the wall and use Charge Blaze to break it.
that makes sense. Yeah, so it allows you to sort of do some cheeky mechanics in certain places. Yes, I assume that's Heart 3 and Willow, the one that's you would normally do the like repeated bash redirect for.
Yeah, we also see on the tracker that our relic count is yellow, which is also a new feature. That means that there's a relic in the area I'm currently in, which is Inkwater Marsh. So Inkwater Marsh still has a relic, so I need to find it.
That makes sense. Yes, we also got a nice little extra double jump there, which for now doesn't do very much for us because we don't actually have double jump. But when we do get double jump, we technically have triple jump for free, which is nice. There's actually a shard called triple jump, which gives you an extra one. But in bonus plus, you can find pickups that just give you extra jumps. So that will make our vertical movement very nice if we can find double jump. Double jump is definitely not required to finish the game, so sometimes it's not always nice in progression. Everything we just access there is melting sword. We do have access to sword. So in various parts of the game, we need to. It's usually in Bow's Reach. There are like ice walls and some like things that need to be set on fire. Usually, you need one or two specific skills, either grenade or sentry to unlock those, but now with melting sword we will be able to just use our sword slashes to unlock those areas. So that's another potential area for Zuri to go to. So yeah, here we're going to be buying a map from Lupo, and that gives us tells us what's in the area. So in this area we have one skill and we have one relic, and there's also a number of trees. Inkwell Mash is the beginning area of the game. So while most areas have only one tree in them, Inkwell Mash has like 3, I think. It has a few.
It is, yeah, 4 actually. It has regen, sword, double jump, and bow. And
Oh yeah,
I haven't
true.
got
Yeah.
any of them yet. So, oops.
Oh,
Okay. Oh yeah, I don't
that
have
makes
keystones,
sense.
which is fine because I can just go around, which is the better idea, anyways.
Yes.
So I can
So
save 2 keystones.
yeah, so there are a few quest items here that we'll be picking up as well. This is one of the quests. So every time you complete a section of a quest, you will get a random pickup. So yeah, so normally if you were playing the vanilla game, you would have to go collect some keystones, go through a door, etc. We're actually able to circumnavigate that door by taking the long way around and going through Midnight Burrows. So Zuri's going to path over to that way. Yeah, and then we will be able to do the Midnight Burrows section. That's a separate area as well, which may have its own relic. We'll have to see. But yeah, Zuri's interested in picking up every pickup he can in this area because any of the pickups could be a relic. So we have to be pretty strict in this area in terms of what we're trying to pick up, even though there's only a single skill.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, like with our current setup, we don't have a lot of recovery mechanics. So if we get hit by something or we actually take damage from spikes, there's not usually a lot we can do to rectify the situation. We usually have to like fall somewhere and try again. But once we get access to things like double jump or dash, getting hit by enemies and etc. will not matter anywhere near as much. Nice. So yeah, I got a rapid smash pickup there. That increases the rate of attack for hammer, which we don't have yet, but we may get soon. There are some interesting movement techniques you can do with hammer, similar to sword, but usually a little bit better. Um, so yeah, so we'll have to see where the rando seed progression takes us. But yeah, there is a lot of fun bonus stuff, things we're getting access to here. And we are almost into Midnight Burrows. So to get into this area, we need to do a sequence of bashes. Quickly we will talk to Talk and complete his quest. Which every good randomizer player will simply memorize. Assuming you can get access to. There we go. Nice. So yeah, combining an up slash there with jumping on the bounce pad will allow us to get over to that one. So yeah, this is definitely not the easiest because we're having to repeatedly use a bounce pad. You do some good movement techniques here to bash these things in a certain sequence. Usually you have things like double jump here, so you can just go from one to the other and just do the sequence as fast as you can. So now that we have access to Midnight Burrows, instead of going in there, we're going to do the exact same thing but in reverse to give us access to another tree. Or maybe we're not going to do that, but there is an option.
We wanted to do that, but I
Okay,
can't.
yes. So yeah. Yeah, and a cool thing about this is the sequences are actually semi-repeated even from front to back and back to front, which means if you know what you're doing, you can actually skip inputting the full second sequence by reusing part of the first sequence. So Zuri was able to only bash 3 of the little chimes there and get access to this tree. So that's another tree down. So you can see on the counter, we're at 3 out of 14 trees, 1 out of 5 wisps, and 1 out of 7 relics. But as we continue to find important movement tech and progression pieces, we will accelerate and get through those things much quicker. Right now, we're still struggling just a little bit to get some things that we need to really zoom through the map. But Zri is obviously an expert level runner here, so even though we are struggling just a little bit, Zri is getting through these areas just fine. Doing some knife movement. So yeah, so the way these portals work is basically they preserve your momentum as you go through it. So if you're able to generate extra height or extra momentum as you go through them, you're able to launch out the other side at faster speed and get to areas. Okay, so Midnight Burrows does have a relic, but does not have any of her skills. So
Yeah, I'll probably skip pickups for now here and come back later when I have more skills that
yep,
I can use to be faster. So I'll
that
just.
makes a lot of sense. So we're going to be pulling on this lever here, which raises this tree up. Don't ask me why this makes sense. Like game law wise, levers in this game just do useful things for us. But yeah, apparently this branches on like a rope or something. But yeah, this is gonna give us access to go back into Inkwater Marsh, which is where we were trying to go originally behind that keystone door. So Siri here.
Actually get this one because we're here already.
Yep. And there's a keystone. That's not a bad pickup because we do not have a large amount of keystones right now.
Oh god.
Yeah, definitely not the easiest to maneuver through this area. So we expertly just managing to get through these. I'm gonna wait for this spider to maybe shoot us. Come on, dude. Hey, there you go. You can do it. Nice. So yeah, this area is kind of brutal. Usually, if you have access to feather, which allows you to very much slow your movement speed, then this area is pretty easy. But when you don't have access to it, you're constantly flying through balls. Nice job on that one, getting that second time.
No.
Oh,
Okay, got the
it's
save.
okay. I was about to say I cast a jinx out. That's my bad. I apologize, but luckily we
Yeah,
had to
that's
say,
rude.
and we got the
Okay.
relic. Okay, so that's nice. So we don't actually ever have to go back to Midnight Burrows now. So that's nice for
Yes.
us. And we break through this wall, and we get access to another tree almost immediately. This is the double jump tree if you're playing the vanilla game. Um, and yeah, so so here is going to be going through this section of the game. There are some things that are
Yeah.
I feel like we probably will be getting most pickups. This is sort of like where a lot of the pickups are maybe less bound by certain items because it is the very beginning of the game. Um, so yeah, you're not really supposed to have a lot of skills if you're playing this part of the game, this section of the game in vanilla. So you're doing some nice repeated bashes to get this guy over here, so we can get this pickup. That's nice because you can do it without that, but then you'd have to fight a combat arena, which takes maybe like 30, 40 seconds or something. So nice little time save there.
Do I have
So
a quick
yeah,
minute here to
also
do I have a quick minute here to give a plug to the cause of why we're here today?
Yeah,
sure.
sure, go ahead.
Awesome. So while we're watching this beautiful game here, I want to remind everybody in chat that we are here raising money for charity for the Burn Children's Fund of South Carolina, MUSC Medical University of South Carolina, whose mission is to ease the recovery process for MUSC's pediatric burn patients and their families through supplies, training for the highest quality burn care, direct family support, and education. So please, if you can donate, please do, and watch Ori just do some incredible stuff here. This game's a beautiful thing to watch. Thank you guys for joining us today, and thank you to chat for joining us as well.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Yeah, so getting back into the games, you're just doing some intended strats. You could do this. Usually, if you have better movement, it's a bit easier. So you're here actually just choosing to. Actually, you did get the pickup.
Yeah, I got the pickup.
Okay,
I'm playing online, so it keeps all the pickups. I can't lose any pickups. Once it's collected, it's collected.
gotcha. That makes sense. Yes. So yeah, just do a cheeky little death there to sort of get out of that area a little bit quicker, and then choosing to teleport away. So yeah, there are a few more pickups, and there's quite a few more pickups in this area. Inkwell Mash is quite large. Nice. So we're going to be going through a little bit of a cutscene here, but luckily we can just skip it as soon as Ori gets to the tree, and that's another tree down. So this is canonically the first tree you get in the game. This is the sword tree. We already have sword, so that's nice. And yeah, we also have quite a lot of Golek ore. So Golek ore is another semi-useful pickup that we can get. There is the Wellspring Glades, which we have already been to, but there is a person that we can talk to called Grum, and you can spend your Wellspring ore to, sorry, not Wellspring ore, Garlic ore to rebuild parts of the Wellspring Glade, which gives you access to more pickups. And also, every time you complete it, I believe you get a random item every time you hand in a piece of that quest. Is that right, Suri?
It's only the last, like if you complete everything, because that's a quest, and then you get a reward for the quest. But everything you build unlocks some pickups because
Yeah.
there are huts and caves and other things
Yeah.
you can enter.
Yeah, there are things that you currently don't have access to until you spend some of that Garlic cost. So we have a number of that, so we may potentially be able to do some of the rebuilding of the glades to check pickups if Zuri wishes to. I think Zuri has quite a number of areas that he can choose to go to right now, with things like Water Dash available, Burrow available. But yeah, for now, continuing to go through Inquisitor again, we know there is a relic here, so we're pretty interested in trying to maybe collect that relic. And then there is, I believe, one skill, so.
Come on.
Yeah, but this point in the game in vanilla, you're supposed to have double jump, which makes all of this just a little bit easier. I was really having to manipulate or using a bunch of different techniques. A lot of really great sword movement here to get through this area. This stuff is really not easy. Just from a One from an execution standpoint, but two also from a knowledge standpoint, to like sort of know what to do in certain scenarios, to actually even knowing that you can get up that area by just using sword. Doesn't seem particularly possible to start with, so luckily when there are enemies in the area, you do have access to bash, so bash allows us to sort of zoom along, but any area where there isn't an easy bash source can be a little bit more challenging. Ooh, uncharged bash grenades. Those are fun if we find grenade. So the way those work, if we get grenade is like a projectile-based weapon. And usually if you stand on the ground and charge your grenade, you can then bash off of that grenade. And that is very much an intended mechanic by the developers to allow you to get access to certain areas and to get extra height. An uncharged bash grenade allows you to bash off of grenades that you don't charge. So you can be flying through the air, throw a grenade, and instantly bash off it. So very high skill players can chain those together and get like crazy movement across the map. So yeah, I'm fingers crossed now that we find grenade, because that is
I
always
hope
really
so,
fun
yeah.
to see. Nice. So doing another little quest here. We're talking to Mock the Brave. He is the bravest Moki around.
Oh no.
And he wanted to, yeah. We're playing a variation of the early game, where we've turned off what people call rainy marsh, which is, so usually this part of the area is all flooded, and there's certain things you can't get access to early until you defeat the first boss, technically boss, mini boss. I don't really want to call it. It's who is Howl, but that is like very 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 trivial to do. The Howl fight is like basically just like a long auto scroller, and then has some very very basic mechanics that anyone can do. So a lot of players just turn off Rainy Mash and allow us to play the game as if that boss had already been defeated right from the start.
Actually, I go back to Wellspring because I got the Wellspring TP very early, and I don't know yet how many pickups there are in Wellspring, and maybe there's double jump or dash or something with something here that gives me more mobility.
That makes a lot of sense. So before we can get into Wellspring, we will need to destroy a growth over on the left side of the screen of this pickup. And that will unlock the door, and then yeah, we will get access to Wellspring, which has it's fairly pickup dense. We have some good skills to get access to stuff. Yeah. So Zuri here, yeah. Wellspring is made up of 3 different levels, and each level is locked by its own door. So door 3 is by default open, I believe, because we have the teleport. We just opened door 1, so there is a middle section that we can't get access to yet until we go through the first area and unlock the door. Hey,
Oh,
sentry.
that's nice.
This is nice. So yeah, so as we talked about when we first got sword, I talked about getting sentry jumps, and here we see them. Oh. And we also see some debug mode situations happening.
Never happened. Never happened.
So we might have
I
just
might have-
teleported Ori accidentally, but
I
yeah,
might
no.
have touched the stick.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
go.
But no harm, no
Yeah.
foul. Okay, so we just got access to 2 extremely powerful abilities. You're seeing 3 here. We have at least 1 extra double jump, I believe, maybe even 2. We also have access to Sentry, which gives us Sentry jumps, which is where you combine the upslash of a sword with a Sentry on the same frame to fly up into the air. If you're on the ground. If you're not on the ground, you can do the same thing, but you need to time them to be exactly 3 frames apart, which means aerial sentries are a very core part of being, maybe less so in randomizing. In speedrun, they're definitely a core part of the game. Randomizer is still very important.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, we're getting all the skills now. Nice. So we're going to be seeing all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah, anyway, sentry jumps in the air. Zuri will probably be doing a bunch of them, and they're very, very challenging. We're also going to be seeing some nice grenade jumps here. Some funky property with the grenade allows you to just sort of float and rise in the air. Like it looks very weird, but It works on the basis that most of the movement on this game works is combining things together. The animation system does not account for it very well, so we can sort of break intended deceleration. We can and do also that kind of stuff to get extra height. So here's just like yeah, it looks like he's just floating for no apparent reason. He's actually channeling a grenade, and then also right before the grenade is thrown, he's actually refunding the grenade to get his energy back, and then doing it again, combining that with the jumps available from double jump to gain height, which is it's a very cool tech. It can also maybe worth mentioning here. So generally, your resources, as your moon resources specifically. So right now we only have double jump to talk about, but your double jump, you only have as many in the air as you have. So right now we have 3 total. So Zuri can jump 3 times in the air and then won't be able to jump again, unless he finds a way to reset that. So you can reset that by hitting enemies with the sword. You can reset that by touching a wall and sometimes ceilings. Some specific ceilings can, some don't. Can be a little bit finicky with the geometry. And then also some other abilities give you access to that. So for example, if he bashes off an enemy, he will get his double jumps back. So yeah, the game can, when you get access to quite a few skills, the game can get quite rhythmic in the way that you will sort of chain different movement abilities together to keep your momentum up and to just keep flying through the map. And by doing that chaining, you'll be resetting certain abilities, which allow you to just keep everything going. So yeah, as we can see now, with Sri having access to double jump and grenade, he's now flying through this area, collecting a lot of pickups. How many? What was the hint? I missed the hint.
There's one more here.
Okay,
One
so
more
one more
skill and
skill.
no teleporter. I'm only searching for it because I think this is early game, because it had double jump and all the mobility. So maybe there's more early game, one more early game skill here. And I need to get the tree anyway, so.
That makes sense, yes. So there is no relic in this area, but there is a tree. So we will have to go to at least the end of this first wellspring inside section, which is looking like he's heading towards now, to grab the tree here, and then yeah, Suri will maybe potentially keep looking a little bit more, or could potentially go to a different area to continue. Yeah, with all the objectives we have, because we have a lot. So that is the unlocking of Wellspring 2, if we choose to go to it. Well, the secondary, I should say. And the speedrunning terms, it's like we call it Wellspring 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, so grab the tree. Got some 50 Ori money. It's a funny one. And we can, as we may decide to choose to go somewhere else. Or not.
Yeah, I should probably go somewhere else. You're right.
Oh yeah, we're also seeing some nice a combination of 2 different techniques there. We're seeing the uncharged bash grenades come to effect, so Zuri is able to throw a grenade and instantly bash off of it. He's also using a thing that people generally call bash gliding, where if you don't have a input held when you're doing when you perform a bash, so by an input I mean a movement direction, Ori will basically never decelerate. So usually with bash you get a little burst of speed and then you will slow down quickly to like a normal-ish airspeed. But if by not holding a directions, you can gain a metric ton of momentum from the bash and then hold that, and then by just using double jump, Zuri can hold that momentum, maintain it, and fly through these areas extremely quickly. Nice.
I need energy.
Yes, and that is maybe the one caveat to doing these repeated bash grenades is every grenade you use costs you 1 energy, unless you can find there's a specific shard that will allow you to half your energy cost while doubling your damage. There's also bonus plus specific pickups that allow you get they're called like grenade efficiency, which will make grenade cheaper. So yeah, we don't have loads of energy right now.
Okay,
So
this bee is just wrong here.
he is hanging out. So yeah, another thing worth mentioning, little really lovely randomizer quality of life. Is Ori is a very story focused game. It's very much a game about story narrative. Um, and that what that generally means is a lot of cutscenes that slow the pace of the game down a lot. And if you played, if you're a randomizer main and you played this game hundreds, if not thousands of times, you probably don't care so much about the story aspects of the game while you're trying to run a randomizer. So yeah, the randomizer itself has a lot of cutscenes. Unnecessary cutscenes have simply been removed from the game to make everything just a little bit more snappier. Yeah, so we're into Bowser's Reach. This is like a wintry section of the game. We're going to be seeing Zri using Grenade to light various. There's a couple of things. One, you can melt certain walls with it, which will give you access to pickups or progression in the area itself. Or as you see right now, he's gonna use Grenade on these, or maybe not. I guess you don't need to do it on this one. There are these like altars that you can use Grenade to set on fire, and that will melt some ice sections that will give you access to pickups as well. So, you actually could be doing this with sword because you have to have access to melting sword, but Grenade is the actual intended way that the developers would expect you to do that. So we also have access to Grenade. So yeah, we will be flying through this area. So this area does have a relic. It also has a tree, and it also has a wisp. So I haven't talked too much about wisps yet because um, usually in the early game you're going to be more focusing on collecting your pickles and stuff. And wisps are generally sort of later on in the game. But yeah, there is a wisp in Bowser's Reach. It requires you to do an escape sequence. So yeah, Zri may choose to do that now, or may choose to do that later.
I'll probably wait with that until I have glide.
That makes sense. I just does definitely make that area a little bit more comfy, or sorry, the escape. Yeah, we're gonna be talking to Lupo here again. So no skills, but a couple of teleporters, which may or may not be useful. Sometimes you can get a teleport for the same area you're in, and just be like, okay, thanks, randomizer, very helpful. And sometimes the teleporters are like very big, and can unlock major areas. But I think with Zri's current skill set, pretty much every area of the map is accessible in one way or another. Teleports just allow you to be a little bit more efficient, save some time warping over instead of having to travel over to any area. Nice. There is this like some path that Tree could be running along there, but yeah, that's not fun. Let's fly across the screen and never touch the ground. Combine, yeah, just really great movement tech here with the grenades and bashing and using grenade jumps to preserve momentum. I 100% agree. It has like the best soundtrack. This game's soundtrack is awesome. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be cleaning up Silent Woods. There was a couple of more skills in this area. We were from the hint earlier. I think we were at 2 out of 4. And I think pretty sure Dree can full clear the area if he needs to. Hopefully we will be able to find the skills we need before that. There isn't a tree in this area. I think technically not. I don't know if the launch tree counts as Silent Woods or not.
Ah, yes, it counts.
Okay, so there is a tree. But it's sort of on the very edge of this area towards the actual final section of the game. So Zuri may not choose to go for that tree now because you're gonna have to go towards Willow Tree anyway at some point to like finish the game because we have to go and fight Shriek. So nice. Deflector is a cool pickup. It has it's very nice for potentially killing the final boss quickly. So what Deflector does, we also just got Spear. Deflector, every time you can use your sword to deflect projectiles that enemies throw at you, which can be useful on certain bosses. We also got
Totally.
access to Spear. Spear is mainly a damage ability at this point. We don't really need it for any movement tech. I'm not sure if there is any
Well, it's
specifics.
yeah. This thing that we got is ground breakage. There are some breakable
Oh,
grounds
true.
which you can also just only break with spear or hammer.
That is true.
So we got spear now, and hello. Okay, he's not following me.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's true. Yes. So there are a few pickups that we will be able to get because of Spear, because we will be able to break certain pieces of ground. It also could be used to hit things through walls and stuff, but I believe the main usage for that is Creep House, which we don't have enabled in this run, so we won't be seeing that. Yeah, so as we hear, this area is can be sometimes very challenging, depending on your movement options. For the most part, when you play through the game, like vanilla Ori, you're actually flying through this section on one of your friends. You have an owl friend, so the area is still very much designed to where you're supposed to be in the air a lot of the time. Obviously, Zuri here making everything look very easy with expert usage of grenade. So flying through, which is nice. So yeah, so we saw one of the missing abilities, which is Spear. There is one more, so we'll have to see if we get access to that one in one of these upcoming pickups. Okay. So Zuri here is going to be, I believe, skipping this combat arena.
Yeah.
Yeah. So combat arenas are very slow. They take a lot of time, and luckily the randomizer tells you what you're going to get before as you start it. So you can just there's no like requirement to finish it. You can just walk away, and the combat arena will reset.
Just
Okay,
want to throw
nice.
out there real quick, everyone. We are $50 away from our $2,000 goal for the day so far. So if you want to help donate to a great cause, the Burn Children's Fund for South Carolina, and continue to watch Ori do some tremendous movement tech, please do. We're almost there. Help us get there, please.
Awesome. Yeah. So as I did mention earlier, Bow's Reach. Not Bow's Reach. This isn't Bow's Reach. This is Windswept Waste. Windswept Waste is a very pickup dense area as long as you have the movement tech to be able to get through. Burrow is the key one, but having some access to some other stuff will allow you to basically get most, if not all, the pickups. So we've got the only skill here. There is a TP available. There's also a tree that Zuri is about to pick up, and a relic. So even though there is not much in terms of skill progression here, we will need to potentially go through a lot of checking in this area to find the relic. There is also a Wisp adjacent to this area. Technically, I would say it's in the same area. It's in a sub area of Windswept Waste. That also involves a difficult escape. So Zuri may choose to do that one just a little bit later when he has a little bit of access to more movement.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so I think Zuri is going to be... Oh, that's a very nice pickup, grenade efficiency. That means our grenade skill is now cost half an energy instead of a full one. So we're going to be going through... This is it's sort of like a combat arena, but the game doesn't tell you it's a combat arena. But if you kill these enemies that spawn in this area, then it unlocks a pickup. So very... which, yeah, randomized players know about, but it's a little obscure. But yeah, Zuri is just zooming around. Also, grenade is very good for damage, and I believe we have access to fracture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fracture grenade is one of the highest DPS things in the game. You will literally melt enemies, and you will also melt bosses. So what fracture grenade does is when the grenade hits something, it explodes into miniature grenades, which most of the bosses have very, very, very big hitboxes, which allow you to just hit basically every one of those grenades. So you can see you can kill bosses in literally like 10 seconds or less sometimes if you have the right setup. We also got access to our second launch fragment now, so we only have one more launch fragment to get before we have access to launch, which is by far the most powerful ability in the game. We're gonna be able to see Zri do some awesome launch swapping tech. Nice. Yeah, it looks like Zri is doing a general cleanup of the Inquire Marsh area here to get access to the relic, as we need to do that to finish the game. Inquire Marsh is quite large. And it has a lot of verticality, which is something that you're not going to do early in the game if you're playing vanilla. You sort of go through this section mainly on the ground, and then you would come back later as you get access to more movement and stuff. Also little pickups in various other places. So yeah, here we're going to see an example of Spear breaking the ground there, so we can get through to this area.
Oops.
And hey, it's a relic, so that's good. So that's like, in terms of it's a slow pickup in terms of looking for Inkwell and Match pickups. It does give you access to Wellspring area, which we kind of already have, or Wellspring slash Luma pools. So there's not a ton of value going that way except to check that pickup, but we got the relic, which is super nice. So we've got the Inkwell and Match relic checked off. That's 3 out of 7 on the relics. We're also 8 out of 14 on trees. So we're making good progress so far. I think Zri would like to get maybe one more good movement ability here, maybe like a dash, or we can find another launch fragment to access launch, and then I think Zri would be pretty comfortable in getting like maybe some of the Wisps done and just zooming through areas.
Yeah, like
and maybe...
the only required thing that I'm missing is glide, because we can't access mobile depths without having glide. Yes.
So it's either glide or we need to find the mobile teleporter. So we have 2 options there, but that may take us a while. If Street gets really stuck, I believe there is a hint that he can buy, which will allow him to see which area glide is in, which allows him to narrow our search a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be seeing a nice little bit of magic here. Nice, second try. So if you shoot the bow and open up the weapon wheel on the frame that the bow is fired, for some reason the arrow goes directly down and just passes through terrain. So Dree is able to use that to just unlock that door without having to do this section. So we're also going to be seeing here, oh my goodness, you threw it so fast I don't have time to explain it. So this is hollow swim, dash swim, people call it various names, but basically there is some poison water there. And yeah, if you have enough health and you know the movement tech and you're doing it, and especially having water dash helps a lot, you can just dash through that poison water and get access to this area. Doing it the vanilla slow way involves going through pulling a lever to lower the water a little bit, and then going through another section to pull another lever to finally get down here. So there is like a potential that we have to do that because there are like a couple of pickups in that middle section that we don't have access to right now. But this is definitely the faster way, where if we can avoid having to do that, we definitely will. Yeah, we're almost up to our 10th tree in just a second. We're gonna have access to the dash tree. Well, yeah, so we're gonna just grab another pickup here. And yeah, so we're not got that many trees left. Another extra double jump is nice. Can't go wrong with that, especially because
I will actually do the Wellspring escape now, because that gives me the glide hint.
Yeah, okay.
Because we have many areas with 1 skill left, and I don't want to search an area just to get Blaze or something like that.
That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, so we're going to be going over the cutscene trigger to grab a pickup here. Oh, we also have rapid grenade. Okay, our grenade damage build is absolutely online. So we're going to be going through the Wellspring escape. This is not going to be challenging for Zri with his setup. He just bashes up a grenade and repeatedly jumps, loses no momentum, and is just absolutely flying. Nice. goes for a little cheeky trick there called we call wheel skip, which allows us to get outside of that falling wheel, which allows us to advance way quicker than we normally would be able to, because normally we're stuck inside the wheel. And yeah, we're in the last section of the escape pretty much already. So these blue plants usually are required to have a skill called grapple. And we don't have access to that, which can make that little last section difficult, but it's really doing a nice job there to get through without any particular issue. And this is the last section. Out of energy, so suddenly our zoomies are not so zooming, but we get through the escape just fine. Oh, and then you got Blaze. Nice. So yeah, unfortunately, there is a nice little cutscene where we get called so soggy, and it's a little bit of a meme within the Ori community, but we can just skip that in the randomizer. And now we're going to be buying the hint.
Marsh it is.
Clyde is in
Luckily,
Marsh.
there's not that much left, so...
Yes, we've already done a decent job clearing up Marsh because we had to find the relics, so...
Usually in the randomizer you get full health and energy when you teleport, so I'm just very used to that, but since it's a bug right now that you don't get it, so you have to grab it manually.
Indeed, indeed.
Do we have time for a quick donation, Rudolph?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. We have a $25 donation from Unknown out there. Unknown47. Nothing there but the $25 donation. Thank you so much. Getting us that much closer to the goal. We're at $1,975, everyone. Almost at $2,000. We still have some incentives open as well in some upcoming runs. The Slay the Spire run coming up at 4:15 has open bid war for selecting character and pick the whale bonus. And some stuff out there still for Chrono Trigger Jets of Time coming up after that. Add an extra boss to the list. Repeatable, $22 of 80 met, and one extra added so far, and split Lavos Zeal between runners, $10 of 100 also in there so far. So let's see if we can reach some of those incentives, everyone.
Nice. Yeah, so Zuri has found Glide, so this gives us access to Moldwood Depths, which is a bit of an interesting area. So yeah, as we're going to see Zuri entering it very quickly. Moldwood Depths is unique in the sense that it has a bunch of pitch black areas scattered throughout the level, and if you spend too much time in the darkness, you will die. Actually, do you have flash? I can't. The icons are always confusing to me.
It was in the shop. I could have bought it, but
okay.
Grenade also gives me light, and
yes.
Uncharged bash grenades are basically free bash, so I don't really need it.
Yes. So usually what happens if you're playing as vanilla is there are these little fireflies that you have to break, and then they slowly fly around different little sections, and give you access to a few different things, and you can spend like 40, 50 minutes or an hour in here trying to get to the tree, and then the tree gives you access to a skill called Flash, which basically gives you this big light aura, which makes you immune to the darkness, but constantly drains your energy. We don't have time for that, to be quite honest. We're here to speedrun in a marathon, so Zuri instead is just going to be zooming through the area, negating the darkness by either just being so fast that it doesn't, like this, where he gets through the section before it can kill him, or we can use Grenade as another way to generate light. It's not anywhere near as good as just having Flash available. We also have the bow. A bow is another way to, if you just like hold down the bow, as soon as you start firing the bow, it fully resets your light for some reason. It's a weird quirk of the game. So yeah, Zuri has a few options here to generate light in sections where he needs it. And yeah, so you're also going to be seeing, just like me, you're probably going to be very confused as Zuri navigates these areas in full darkness, like without any issues whatsoever. When I play Randomizer and I go through these sections, it's just like I constantly am looking at my map because I can't see anything and I have no idea where I'm going. But yeah, expert players are just able to see. Yeah, so only one potential problem here is a little bit of energy concerns. 3 is out of energy. But nice job getting through that section with mega fast grenade bashes. Oh yeah, nice here. Another thing, we did pick up Shuriken at some point. I can't remember exactly when, but we can do a little thing here called a Shuriken wall break.
A few pickups ago.
which allows us to break this wall from the wrong side. So usually with pretty much any other skill, we would not be able to do that. But yeah, Shuriken gives us access to break this from the wrong side, which saves us having to go through a bunch of water and extra time. So it's a nice little way to save time. There is a combat arena here. It has only an energy fragment, so we can simply leave. The other nice thing about combat arenas is because the game expects you to fight all the enemies in it, you do get access to... it gives you all of your health and energy back. So like one of the techniques you can do, you can simply start the combat arena just to get a refill on health and energy, and then just walk away and have that health and energy available for whatever you need to do. So yeah, so we're gonna seeing almost one of the downsides of having a skill velocity. Sometimes you go so fast, you bump into things all the time. Especially if you get like 2 or 3x, you sometimes can go so quickly, like it's hard to keep control.
Okay.
Oh, nice. So yeah, just getting access to the Depths Relic right now. That's pretty sweet. I'm gonna be heading over to the tree at some point, I'm sure. It looks like we're heading that way now from what I remember of this area. 3 going so fast, I literally have no idea where we are.
Okay.
Oh, we got dash. Nice. So yeah, dash is gonna help. Just nowhere near as much as it would have maybe like 15 minutes ago before we found grenade, but yeah, dash is always useful to have. It is very good horizontal movement. It allows us to travel very fast on the ground. Because you can repeatedly dash on the ground, and if you have something like Sword, you can use animation cancelling to make your dashes even more frequent. But yeah, Zuri is going to be now, it's just a little bit of comfort, a little bit less energy intense. We'll be able to mix in some dashes into his movement alongside with the stuff he's already doing with grenades and bashing to kind of zoom through the map. Even probably just a little bit quicker, maybe the same speed, but yeah, not having to spend anywhere near as much energy would be nice. Yeah, so in this section we have a relic and a wisp together. So Zuri is assumingly hunting for this relic right now. Going through as many pickles as we can. There is quite a few. Zuri has already got the tree in this area from what I remember, so... yeah, it's just a case of hunting pickups. And what we might be seeing here...
No.
I'm actually not sure what I'm seeing here, so I'm going to sit and watch before I make a wrong assumption. Okay, yes. So Zuri is clearing the enemies here. We're going to be doing another shuriken break through this wall. And we're going to be using that to get immediate access to the relic. Not the relic, sorry, the wisp. So, and when I say immediate access, I mean we're going to be starting the escape quickly. Yeah, so Zuri finds the cutscene trigger and can then just immediately skip the cutscene, and we're into this escape. And now Zuri's going to be doing another cool piece of tech here where we, instead of doing the escape, we're going to hang out up here, and then we're going to hang out for a little bit more time. And then we're going to do this really cool tech where we go to the end of the escape from the wrong side and just enter the escape and instantly, like, and then it just, like, ends the escape immediately. It's quite fun. We're hanging out right now because to our left, which is the way we came in, is the way we want to come out, but holy moly, that was fast. But we have to wait a certain amount of time because there is a kill plane that would kill us. That was a wave dash, by the way. Combining regen and dash against a solid surface will allow us to fly incredibly far, especially with skill velocity. That was the fastest wave dash I've ever seen. Yeah, so Zuri actually, I guess here just like doing some more pickups, and then when he is ready, okay, we got launch. Nice. Yeah, when he is ready, we will go and grab the end of the wisp. Nice. So we got the waste relic. We got launch. Launch is sort of like grenade bashing, but like without any of the complexity. And also you can do these things called launch swaps, which I don't even know if you need to do them, but you can do them. But they're another way to
You will
massively
see
increase
them.
your speed. Okay, we will. Zri knows we will see them. So, yeah, Zri now going to be racing to the end of the escape, and we're gonna see just a little pit stop to open the door. But yeah, launch is very, very, very powerful. So you get a single launch while you're airborne, but then again, if you hit an enemy, touch the side of a wall, etc., you will get your launch will reset. So yeah. So we have some mandatory slow pieces, and then as soon as those are over, Zri might need to be a little bit careful with his air because these lasers hurt and these spikes hurt, and he does not have a lot of health. It's a little bit hard to see under the overlay, but oh my gosh, okay, that was a launch swap, and you go zoom in. So the way launch swaps works are you basically, as soon as you use your launch, you open the weapon wheel and you unequip launch, and for whatever reason, the game just like it completely breaks the deceleration part of launch and allows you to go absolutely flying. So you see, we're way too high right now. Oh no, we're not way too high. Sorry, we're exactly where we need to be. Zri is way better at this game than I am. So this is the end of the escape. Zri popping into that sand.
That is very, very convenient.
Wait, what did you find?
Yeah, Windows NTP.
Oh, nice.
We need to go
nice.
there later.
Yes,
So for
Willow's
now,
End
I
is
will
where
just
we need to go to finish the
Fight
game.
a big spider.
Yes, a spider who looks very threatening, I am sure, but I don't think Zri is going to have a lot of trouble.
Actually, for the fun, I'll buy Fracture.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, well, you're going to see the power of Fracture Grenade plus, I think you have like the grenade speed, whatever. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
I don't remember either.
yeah, we're going to see some explosive damage. It's going to be epic. But before that, we're going to do a little bit where we break another wall using Shuriken from the wrong side.
Do we have time for another quick donation?
Yep.
Mhm.
We have a $25 donation from Jared M. Donation toward Wef Jebster's Time Spinner run later on today. That pushes us to $2,000 raised, everyone, so far. Thank you so much for getting there. We're $50 away from our day one total from last winter's marathon, so very close. Let's see if we can reach there before maybe the end of Ori. This game's been incredible to watch. I've been just enamored with your comms and watching this. I've been very impressed. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, so we are very quickly into this Mara fight. So yeah, the giant spider is called Mara, and Zri is moving around the screen so fast I can't keep up with him. But you're going to be seeing a lot of fiery explosions, and that is Fracture, and we're going to be seeing probably a lot of sword slashes. As Zri will, yeah, just sort of hang out. Almost got this first phase down. There's like a miniature escape in the middle. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, so the cool thing about one of the we're slowing the game down just a little bit here. So one of the cool options inside the randomizer is once you get access to all these skill velocities and you're zooming around, it could just be a little bit much to manage in certain spots like boss fights. So we can slow them down just a little bit here and tell the randomizer, hey, we want to turn that off, and then we'll have some more normalized movement. Instead of like pressing launch and ending up on the other side of the arena in like 0.1 seconds, which is not super helpful when you're trying to fight a boss. Yeah, so we're going to see basically a combination of using a lot of grenades, and then we're going to be seeing a lot of sword slashing. Sword has very high DPS. If you can chain together a sword and jump, you can use jump to reset the sword animation, which allows you to slash more frequently. And then because you're hitting the enemy with a sword, it resets your jump. So you can basically spam that forever. You'll sort of like slowly gain height. But yeah, it's a very useful technique for dealing damage. So yeah, that was phase one, and the escape already done. The escape option obviously no problem at all. Probably the most threatening part of this fight in general is these spiders that spawn. They make the fight a lot more challenging because you have a lot more other things to worry about. They also like climb up walls, so it's hard to keep away from them. Obviously, Zuri is just like spending a lot of time flying around in the air, so that's not generally a huge problem for him. This second last part of the fight, Mara screams and the the arena goes into permanent darkness except near these little bash things, little firelights. So this is the same darkness mechanic that is present in Modwood in general. So if you spend too much time in the darkness, Ree will die and we'll have to do this section again. So just being a little bit careful here. Also equipping bow death just for a little bit because bow does reset your light every time you fire it. So that can be a way to sort of keep yourself alive and not have to worry so much about the darkness as long as you have energy. Yeah. So Zuri here. Yeah, it's getting a lot close. Honestly, I thought Mara would just die a little bit faster just due to grenade damage, but yeah, it's a really nice job in getting the boss fight done in a quick fashion. And now we're at 3 out of 5 on the Wisps. Yeah, there's a little summary. We got a relic in Bow's Reach. We have a relic in Willow's End, which is the last area of the game. We have a few more trees to do, and 2 more Wisps. So yeah, we're getting pretty close to having everything we need done to go to the final boss of the game and finish it. Yeah, so you're here doing a bunch of launch swapping goodness.
My God, bubbles.
Random bubble just appears. It's unlucky, but yeah. So there's not a huge need to collect pickups here. We're gonna be doing this puzzle so quickly to open up the next area. So you just have to touch a bunch of, I don't know what they are. Some little planty type things. They have, I know what they are, I can't remember their names. Yeah. Swimming underneath that wooden section there skips a combat arena, so otherwise the door locks on you and you get stuck and you have to fight it, which is obviously takes a bunch of time, but we can just completely avoid that by just swimming in the right place. So we're going to be seeing Zri here. Yeah, just head towards the boss section. We're going to be going to say hello to a giant frog. Zooming over. Nice. And yeah, so this fight begins with an escape, which Zuri is going to fly through. I have access to so many ways. You're going to fly through so fast, we're going to hit things before they've moved out the way. Or in that case, yeah, so he's just like flying. Yeah, nice. So it's done. Usually it takes like, you know, like 25 seconds, or he just does it in 5, no problem. Yeah, so this is Qualok. This boss fight is usually seen as a little bit easier than the Mara fight. The big gimmick on Qualok is halfway through he will slam down and raise water, which means you can no longer heal. So this boss fight is often seen the most difficult casually because after you get to around the 50% mark, you can no longer use your regeneration to heal. Not that you've seen Zri use your regeneration to heal because he's too good for that. But yeah, so now we have to basically keep airborne and be jumping out of the water to deal damage. You're going to see Zri looking like he's intentionally damage tanking, which he is, because he's using launch does deal damage, so he's literally launching into the middle of Qualok's face to deal some extra damage. And yeah, making that boss fight look extremely easy. Yeah, we just gotta do a quick pit stop up here to actually grab the Wisp. There's a cutscene that plays and we can skip it, so that's very nice. And yeah, so we have one Wisp remaining, which is the Bow's Reach Wisp. Yes, I believe it's the Bow's Reach Wisp, and a couple of trees. So yeah, so Tree over here is going over to grab the Lumapul's tree, which we'll be getting momentarily. Just it is locked behind keystones, but we have 6, so we have enough to get through, which is nice. However, a nice little quality of life feature is if you're really struggling for keystones, you can buy them for money. So you don't have to do the awkward thing of just randomly trying to run around the map collecting keystones. Just a little way to sort of make that experience a little bit more pleasant if you're getting unlucky from the randomizer selection. Yeah, so we have only 2 trees left. So one of them is in Willow Tree, which is, or very near Willow Tree, which is where we're going to go. Oh, also a bunch of normal keystones just in the thing. Yeah, so Zuri here just buying a metric ton of keystones to make sure he has everything that he'll need. Now we're going to be heading into Bowers. Okay, instantly using it. That makes sense. And here we will have to be doing some pickups. Gets a tree, nice. So we have one tree remaining. And it's on our way to the final boss, so that's quite nice. Or maybe it's a short detour from the teleport more accurately. And then, yeah, so we're going to be spending a little bit of time in here. Got another launch fragment. Not a useful one this time, because we already have launch. Yeah, it's really going in and out of the house to skip an animation there. It's a cool little piece of tech. Saves like 3 vol seconds or something. Yeah, so as well as getting all of these pickups potentially to find the relic, there is our last Wisp here, which involves an escape. We don't have to fight a boss in this one, which honestly, with what Zuri has in terms of all the movement tech, escapes are actually going to be way easier and faster. Like, he's going to zoom through the escape in no time whatsoever. But until then, we're going to be doing some hunting for our second to last relic. Extra double jump 3. It's a lot of double jumps. Way more than we need at this point, but... yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of pickles in this specific area. Extra air dash, also kind of nice, but not super necessary now that we have launch. Looks all TP. Yeah, we're definitely at the point here where everything except the relic is not super important. And Zuri is able to just, like, using launch mainly now, we're able to just fly through the map at record speed, so... there we go, got the reach relic, nice. So yeah, now Zuri is going to be heading over to the escape sequence where the Wisp is. Going to traverse through all this area. A couple of, like, puzzly type things which require us to use a fire source to break or to interact with. But that's not a problem for us because we have our grenade, our trusty grenade. This little candle needs to be lit on fire to open the door. And I guess there is a combat arena here that we will need to do. Which, yeah, Zuri is going to be pretty short work of, I believe, because we are stacked. Another nice little feature of launch is there are these Gallic enemies who have shields, and launching into their shield will break it. Otherwise, they are immune to damage from that side. Same with the beetles, they have like a protective shell which can be broken. So, yeah. Zuri is repeatedly launch slash, which literally you can't see what's going on, but he's killing enemies with that. And the way it works is launch does give you some amount of iframes, and yeah, so you can launch into them, slash them to reset launch, and then launch again, and just repeatedly use that to kill enemies. And it looks really cool because you just become this flash of light. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the power of launch flops here as we zoom so freaking fast. Oh my
god. Oh no, that was so fast the game didn't register.
So he literally blew through the cutscene there. He blew through the trigger and beyond, and the game killed him. And like, that's so funny. It was so quick. Yeah, weird dashes are pretty ridiculous. They're pretty ridiculous when you don't have skill velocity compared to normal movement options. They're even more ridiculous with skill velocity. Yeah, we see here we're almost at the end. There's another wave dash. Okay, I almost thought you were going to fly past on that one as well. But that is our last Wisp completed. So we're just waiting a second. We're going to skip a cutscene. And we're in our almost final section of the game now. So we have one tree and one relic and one final boss before we are finished. And they are all in the same section. So Yeah, we're gonna see Zri here zooming over. Try to do a little wave dash, nice. And with all this crazy madness, we get to just slow down a little bit. We got a nice little auto scroller now. So he gets like one enemy every like 10 seconds to kill. So usually it takes a little bit more time than to kill enemies than what Zri is showing off here.
Oops.
Oh. Nice. So that is soon to be the end of the auto scroller. We're just gonna wait for the elevator to reach the top of the screen. And yeah, we're almost at our final tree. So usually this is where you get launch in the vanilla game, which is right before the last sort of area / dungeon. But now we have completed trees. We've completed Wisps, and we're one relic away, so we have one objective. And yeah, luckily Willow does not have many pickups. It has like 10 or something. It's a very small amount, so they are quite spread apart. But with Zri's movement options available, he will be zooming through and getting them very quickly. Already got 2. And yeah, launch swapping here, just like making the traversal of what is a very, very difficult area to move well in, even with all this tech. There's a ton of skill and knowledge about knowing where to go and what to use in certain scenarios. But yeah, launch swaps are, and just the general movement tech here is really awesome and is making this area look way easier than it actually is to do. So yeah, it's worth mentioning here. So this is usually, so this where we're at right now. This is, yes, that is the final boss area, and usually that is locked behind these things called creep hearts. So usually you have to traverse through Willow Tree and destroy these creep growths, like 8 of them. But Zri has the option turned off. So you can choose to not do that if you prefer not to, and Zri prefers not to. So yeah, we found the last relic there, and now we're into the final boss fight. So this is Shriek. Giant bird. You know, like every boss we've had so far, it's giant. And fracture grenade, okay, that's phase 1 done, you know? That was like 7 seconds or something. Yeah, so now we're into the escape phase. And this is, oh, let's see where, okay. Oh, you almost got over. It's gonna be Zri just zooming across. There is ways to actually damage Shriek during this phase. So certain speedrun categories that utilize that technique, and some randomizer players choose to do it, some randomizer players don't. But yeah, fracture here, fracture grenade here. Absolutely obliterating Shriek. I would explain like all the different attacks and stuff she has, but the fight's gonna be over before I can possibly do that. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing some nice sword here. So this is like a really nice part where the sword double jump comes into action, because Shriek is floating like high above you, and you can keep yourself level with her head without ever losing momentum. So yeah, so this is a stomp attack here, and now the help pad disappeared, we finished this section. So Zri's actually going to take an intentional death here. This will allow him to get some extra energy from that energy crystal, which will respawn. So after every phase, you get a save point on this. So Zri having some fun. Yeah, we're in the final section now. There is this like 20-ish second period where Shriek is invulnerable. and like the grand finish of she completely breaks away the floor, and now you only have these little feathers to survive and to kill her with, which is absolutely awesome moment in the Villa game. And nice job, nice. So we're gonna be seeing the power of Deflector there, instantly killing Shriek with her last attack. And GG. That's the end of the run.
GG's, that was awesome.
Oh look, it's Ree. He made it.
Hi.
He's on the team.
Thank you both so much for being here and showing this off. This game's incredible to watch. I had a lot of fun doing that. GG's.
Thank you very much. It was very fun to play. And thank you for having me here.
Of course, anytime. Yeah, underestimate too. Look at that. Very impressive with the extra incentives there. That was great. We're going to get ready to get the next run set up going. We got Sawnirath 11 doing some Dr. Mario coming up. So pretty soon we're going to switch on over to that. But thank you again to the Ori community for putting this on today, and for everybody in chat joining us for all your wonderful donations, hitting $2,000 so far today for the Burn Children's Fund of South Carolina. Thank you very much for that. We have another incentive goal up to 3,000 and a lot of incentives left for games coming up, as you can see on screen now. Bid War for Slave Spire still open. Jets of Time still has some money there too to go. And then the Archipelago FFR run coming later will also have some incentives. So stick around. We'll get things set up for Dr. Mario. Thank you again for Ori. And thank you everybody for joining us so far today.